What is going on YouTube? Aaron here, and in today's video we are going to be jumping back into the Summer Wells story. Specifically, we're going to be talking about something that came up in my live stream from today, which is a re-upload. If you haven't seen it and you'd like to watch the full 2-hour live stream, you can click the little bubble up here or down in the description. But after that live stream, I couldn't quite shake this feeling of some of the things that were mentioned in the live stream that really stood out to me. And so I wanted to make this video as its own standalone video, as something that really I kind of missed. Obviously we've been looking into all of the different angles and interviews and resources that we have around the Summer Wells case. And we're referring to, in this video, the interview room, Chris from the interview room, his video from July 26, 2021, which is the Candus Wells interview at the swimming hole. A lot of us have heard these interviews sometimes 2-3 times, trying to kind of pick apart what's being said in an effort to kind of see if the timeline matches up with what Hunter says, for example. And that's kind of part of what today's live stream was about. But I want to go over this, and it's arguably one of the weirdest things that I completely overlooked in the entirety of being involved and following the Summer Wells case. So we're going to go to the 16-minute and 45-second mark of the interview room's video, Chris's video from, like I said, July 26th. And let's listen in on this, and then I'll stop and explain why I think this is so strange.
Well, help me understand, when you went home, tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much, trees, flowers, rocks, whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to...
So she goes on to say, I wanted to capture that, and that's why Grandma took the photo, which was actually a video, because, oh, silly Grandma, she accidentally pressed the video instead of the photo button. And that's the clip that we all know of Summer in the back seat on the milk cartons. And I think you can hear Candus saying something along the lines of, is her arm still up? So she's claiming here that obviously it was because her arms were up that's why that photo was taken. And that's fine, whatever. I think people have read into that situation more. But listen again to what she says prior to that. This is the part that I find so strange.
And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep.
Candus asks, what's Summer doing? Grandma responds, oh, she fell asleep. Those aren't too crazy, right? I mean, what I talked about in my live stream today is that maybe Summer was awake for a substantial amount of time on the way back, and she was making noise, she was kicking her feet, all these different things. We know, after following this case for so long, a lot of people in interviews have talked about Summer having super high energy. So I imagine when Summer is awake in the back seat of the car, she's probably singing and talking and playing with toys, tossing things around, kicking, whatever it is, enough to make some level of noise. So if she did fall asleep, maybe Candus did say, what's Summer doing? Maybe she was quiet and she didn't realize, maybe she was just wondering if she had fallen asleep. So then Grandma replying, oh, she fell asleep. Once again, not wild, but her response after this is what's wild. So Grandma had just said, oh, she's asleep. And then this is what Candus says.
I was like, oh, how's she sleeping?
I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And she goes on to explain that her arms were up because she's saying that she was driving, so she wasn't able to look back there. So all the while, Candus is looking forward, and her response is, how's she sleeping?
And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this.
So she says, and then I finally looked back because I was driving. I don't look behind when I'm driving. It's like, why would she ask her how she's sleeping? If she heard she's sleeping, you would think that Candus would just go, oh, that's cute, and just look back very quickly. People do that. It's not the craziest thing in the world. Why would she ask, how's she sleeping? You have to remember, Summer is buckled up in the back seat with the milk cartons right next to her. How else would she be sleeping? She's sitting there sleeping. She wasn't upside down in the seat. She wasn't, she didn't all of a sudden have a puppy on her lap and she was sleeping with a puppy. Like, she was just sleeping. Why would she ask, how's she sleeping? Unless Summer always slept in weird positions and had her arms up and all these things, maybe she was genuinely like, oh, is she doing the arm thing? But like, it's just, it's strange. And if you don't think that, go to the link. I'll link this down below. Watch this play out a couple times on your own without my video and just see if you see what I'm seeing here. It's a strange thing to ask. How's she sleeping? And another thing that I want to talk about that wasn't discussed in my live stream today was something that also is kind of interesting. And this is me just going through and trying to find holes once again in this story and weird kind of inconsistencies with some of the earlier interviews that came from the Wells, because we're now at this point where we're almost 9 months into this case. On March 15th, it'll be 9 months since Summer went missing. And it's so interesting now to be able to go back to some of these interviews from July. For instance, we're going into the Summer Wells parents' full interview from June 29th, which is not even 15 days after Summer went missing, from WJHL. So if you want to go find this video, I'll have it linked down below as well.
She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave her head
She tried
in
to
the
shave
back
her head
and make
herself.
it, I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control. So we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad.
And you can tell he's referencing to Candus when he says, and she shaved her head to make her not feel bad. He's not talking about Summer shaving her head. It sounds like Dawn is trying to say that Candus shaved her head to try to not make Summer feel bad. Listen to this one more time. This is super, super strange. And once again, not quite sure how I never caught this.
She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She's a tomboy. I shaved my head. She's talking about herself, Candus. And then she says she wanted to shave her head like I did and the boys did. So she's saying Summer wanted to shave her head because of all of them having short hair. Now listen to Dawn again.
She tried to shave her head
She tried
in
to
the
shave her
back
head
and make it.
She's saying that they tried, that Summer tried to shave her head herself.
I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control. So we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long.
So he says we decided to shave her head and let it go back long. And then look, he is referencing off camera towards Candus when he says that she also shaved her head to try to make Summer not feel bad. Listen to this.
And she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad.
They're caught in that one. Look, and this is weird because look, this has nothing to do likely at all with how any of this played out on June 15th. They're talking about stuff. Obviously the news was like asking them what's with the shaved head kind of thing, and they tried to explain it here. But once again, they're caught in these weird lies. I don't even know if they realized that they said this, but it's just strange to me. And it chalks this whole thing up as them clearly being on the defense during some of these early interviews. But I still just can't shake Candus asking Grandma how Summer is sleeping. And she's not asking her like, how's she sleeping? How could she possibly be sleeping? Because that's not, they had a full day. They went to the hospital, they went to Walgreens, they went to Priceless, they went to Sonic, they went to the swimming hole. They did all of these things. So there was definitely every reason for Summer to be sleepy, to want to go to sleep. So she wasn't asking her like, oh, how could she possibly be sleeping? She said, how's she sleeping? And like I said, I just can't quite shake that little section of Chris's video. Am I reading into this too much? Let me know down in the comments below. Let me know how you liked this video. If you did like this video, hit the like button down below. Thank you to the people that were in the live stream today. We helped cross the channel for the 19,000 subscriber mark today. And so if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to subscribe for more videos and more live streams, definitely hit that subscribe button as well. Yeah, hopefully we have some more news soon around this story. You know that I will be here to cover it and to talk about it. So with that said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.